If your life was a movie and people were watching up to this point, what would the audience be screaming at the screen, telling you to do with your life?
I came to a place in life where I just didn't like me anymore. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, I will not spend the next 50 years with this guy.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on the obstacles in the way of you doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all of the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing.
If you become aware of the discomfort, you can counteract it. But if you're not aware of it, it's an object you just can't hit. So that changed my life, that question. What is the psychological discomfort I'm avoiding right now?
The life you want is on the other side of a few hard conversations, and you're living a life you hate because you're too afraid to have them.
Do you actually want to do this or not? Do you actually want to do this or not? Because if you actually want to do it, what's going to stop you? Nothing. And if you don't really want to do it, what's going to stop you? Just about anything that comes up. You nothing.
I think if you don't have the ability to evolve, then it's game over at some point. So I think it's that simple.
Listen to me. The most important thing is this: to be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become.
Everything that happens to you is your fault, and that your life won't change until you decide that you want to be the CEO of your life.
If you want to find purpose, you have to take accountability for your life. And what I mean by that is like no one can bestow it upon you. No one can just give you a purpose. It is within you and it is there to be discovered.
I am not going to live that life. I'm going to create what I want to create. And now I have all of the other fears that everyone else has, but my biggest fear is getting to the end of my life and not having tried or not having at least gone.
Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it.
If your life was a movie and people were watching up to this point, what would the audience be screaming at the screen, telling you to do with your life? What would the audience watching the movie of your life be screaming at the screen, telling you to do?
I'm always waiting for everything to be perfect before I live my life. I'm always waiting for everything to be perfect before I live my life. As soon as these things line up, I'm gonna live my life. Man, I'm so guilty of that.
You can be anything you want to be. Remember, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you don't do the right thing, then nothing happens. But when you do right, guess what? Good things happen.
I'm never gonna get to that where everything's okay, where everything looks a certain way. And in the meantime, I'm burning the best time I do have available. I'm burning that candle up.
But human beings with this incredible brain will keep going down the fourth tunnel forever. They will keep doing what they've always done. They will get into a rut, which we call a comfort zone. They will set a series of habits that are not serving their best interests, and they will keep on with those habits, and they will keep doing things that no longer make them happy, that no longer give them any cheese, and they will keep doing them year after year.
You are your own worst enemy. You waste precious time dreaming of the future instead of engaging in the present. Since nothing seems urgent to you, you're only half involved in what you do.
The human brain evolved under immense amounts of pressure.
People think we're motivated by pleasure. And when I sat with Nir Eyal, who wrote the book on distraction and procrastination and why people do it, one of the really key messages I took away was that we're actually motivated by the avoidance of discomfort. Because if you want to understand why you're procrastinating in some area of your life, the most important question is heightening your self-awareness on the thing that's causing the discomfort. Because in most areas where we procrastinate, we have no idea. We're just avoiding it.
It only takes 1 second for you to lose the whole thing. So the 1 second decision is just that. You're in a situation where life is sucking. Let's say you're in extreme cold water and your life is flashing before your eyes. Every time that wave goes over your head, your thought process is, I gotta get the fuck out of this water. And you're in Hell Week. And you're hour 1 of 130 fucking hours. It's all fun and games.
When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. And I think pain moves people far, far more effectively than pleasure does. Like the easy way to prove it is point a gun at someone's head and you have absolute compliance and they will do what they need to do.
It feels a little bit like being a fraud in some ways because you have this perspective of yourself. You have this expectation which you've put on you. You have this expectation that you think the world is putting on you too. And you don't really know. No one actually knows why people like them.
I didn't want to keep forgiving myself on Sunday and then repeat and do the same shit again Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then go, now I can be forgiven. I was like, no, man. Forgive me, Father. I know what I'm doing, and I'm keep doing it. Cut the shit, McConaughey. Quit giving yourself that out, that parachute.
The question is, should I spend my whole life now just following this pattern? Working for something that I put in my mind that I want, achieving it, and then realizing at some point, lifetime is gone, and the pleasure and the enjoyment of what I try to attain there actually isn't also really sustainable. Already this type of pattern, to observe it, can break a cycle. It can break the cycle of you or anyone running after things unconsciously because you are caught inside a pattern, which at some point is just very, very senseless.
He goes through his entire life of randomness, and he gets on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire version in India, and it has 12 questions to make $1 million. And from only 12 random experiences in his life that seemed meaningless at the time, was he able to answer all of the questions and then ultimately win.
Your best work has to come when you're least motivated. Where does that come from? It comes from basically, I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. But no one taught me this stuff. It wasn't like I had, I paid a trainer to come train me. Jenny Craig didn't come down and miracle my ass. None of this happened. It was on me.
It's gonna be a rough year. You ever had one of those?
Yeah. Sprint. We call them sprints. It's okay.
What did you have to sprint for?
Well,
just curious.
Not for years. Not for a year.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah. Stuff where you get basically stuff has to go on hold, and you probably find this is more often than you think. A lot of times.
Yep.
New baby. That's a sprint. That's a version of it.
100%.
Yeah.
6 months, 9 months, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, even the first month might be, very limited sleep, the whole 9 yards.
It's gonna be different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Saying that as a man, your life is supposed to be shit. My argument to this is people go, I don't feel good. I say, good. Your life as a man is going to be terrible the entire time.
Life isn't going to be easier, but you could go. Let me give you an example.
Sure.
When Jesus was walking on the water, this is the example I say. When a storm hits, the storm is still hitting. But there's a difference from you drowning in the storm or standing above the storm.
Absolutely.
And I think that you're always going to have challenges and obstacles.
Storms are going to come.
But I guarantee you, there's obstacles that you could walk through with a smile on your face that another man could fall apart.
Part of the reason why you're not successful at 40 years of age has to be you. Has to be. Some of it has to be. I mean, it could be a fucking avalanche of bad luck, one thing after the other, but I would like to see that you're making progress towards a better direction. But if you're stuck in this modality, if you're stuck in this mindset of, the world fucks me over, it's like never gonna, no one's gonna want to be with you. No one's gonna want to have children with you. No one's gonna be willing to rely on you to support a family. Like, you have to get your shit together. And you have to also be attractive, which is just dumb luck. Like, you have the dumb luck of genetics. You got a good face. Ooh, you got a good body. A lot of that's genetics too.
That's why I say this ain't no fucking self-help book. This is a what the fuck are you doing with your life book.
Yeah.
And that's why that's so important. What are you doing with your life, man? Why are you sitting around? Why are you waiting for shit to happen? It ain't gonna happen like that. Why are you feeling sorry for yourself? Why are you waiting for that fucking apology that's never gonna fucking come? People sit around waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and blaming and blaming.
The weak motherfuckers of the world are committed when everything's in a perfect setting. But as soon as things get hard, they start having doubts. And why are the doubts? Not because they're failing, because other people are saying stuff and they're giving value to these third-party people as if they're gonna help them. No one's gonna help you. No one's ever gonna help you guys. You've gotta help yourself.
The question shouldn't be, why is he doing everything? It should be, why aren't you? Why aren't you trying to do everything? Why not? Your biggest enemy is you. My whole book is about you battling yourself. People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
Fuck your tired body, fuck that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. You better fight yourself, because you're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going your way. You got to figure out when your body's fighting you, when your mind's fighting you, how do you still, just say, fuck it, I'm gonna beat my mind today.
Get over yourself.
That's where you go.
Get over yourself, right? Like you're worried about how people may perceive you, and like you're walking around and it's embarrassing because you shot 5 air balls. Get over yourself, right? I got to get stronger. I got to train differently. The weight training program that I'm doing, I got to tailor it for an 82-game season so that when the playoffs come around, my legs are stronger and that ball gets there. So I look at it with rationale and say, okay, well, the reason why I shot air balls is because my legs aren't there. I go, well, next year they'll be there. That was it. Done.
Most of us, we live in a box, and we don't want to go outside that box at all, ever. Outside that box is all these possibilities of life. What we do is we shackle our mind. We are a prisoner in our own mind that this is all I can do. This is all I'm good at. And we take away the possibilities of you could be this, you could be that, you could be all these things.
What I'm suggesting that you operate out of a larger vision of yourself. I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience, having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value.
Think like the person you intend to become. Like the Christian question, what would Jesus do? Ask yourself, how would the person I'd like to be? And when you're ready to grow on your own, the seed of that acorn holds not only your potential, but the potential of every future generation of acorns that will spring from that line. So let me ask a question. What kind of seed is in you? See, I believe part of our responsibility in life is to find out who we are, to discover ourselves. First off, we need to
Then if you look at the universe of things that you have to be doing, that, okay, I don't want to do this, the real question is, okay, is there a compelling reason that doing this thing you don't want to do improves future outcomes for future you? But if the thing you don't want to do is a thing that substantially enhances your future outcomes, you might want to consider doing that thing even though you don't want to do that thing now.
Stop breaking promises to yourself. When you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 7 a.m., and when the option comes to hit the snooze button, don't do it. There's one win that you've got for the day. That's action.
But it isn't me that changes you, it's you. You set the small goals, you achieve those goals, then set some more and achieve those, and set some more goals, maybe a little bit bigger, but not that much bigger. The individual that wrote that is getting after it and changing his life. And you can too. Just start. Start small. Start with changing tomorrow morning, just tomorrow morning. Get that squared away. And then move on to the next day and the next, and move your life to a better place. One little step, one little victory at a time.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
If you change your life, if you want to change your life, you must change your ways. You must develop discipline. You must develop strength. I tell you these things because I want to share that with you. It doesn't matter where you are in life. It really doesn't. Because the great thing about life is it's always your next move. Your next move that counts. No matter where you are. You could be, look, I was dead broke. My electric bill was being shut off. And there were people even like worse off than I was. It doesn't matter. You could change your life if you want to. It's always your next decision.
Discipline. But if you don't have discipline, I don't care how skillful you are, you're nothing. The reason why they didn't have the discipline because they allow their mind to take over and say you can never beat him. It's not the physical aspects, it's emotionally and psychologically. I put the impression that I'm God on them. So really, if you don't believe you're God, why are you here? True, right? If you don't want to be the best ever, why are you here?
Versus just saying, like I used to, I'm just not good enough. If I'm not good enough, we always say that shit. I'm just not good enough, and then we try something else. I'm gonna fucking make myself good enough. And that became my mentality. I'm gonna make myself good enough.
But the critical thing is to understand it's not an example of an opportunity. It is the opportunity. You either take it or you don't. You don't use it as a time to think about, well, when the next one comes along, I may or may not, you know what I mean? That's not how it works. You go, you launch.
Opportunity comes to you many times. Opportunity comes, you can either take it or remain scared of it. If you don't take it, it's gonna knock on somebody else's door. And it's gonna invite them to the adventure, you know? Either you take it or you don't. Luck is not something that just happens. It's earned. If you don't take the last 5%, you have to be happy the rest of your life knowing it went to somebody else's door and knocked on their door, and you could have been that guy. It's up to you.
Well, it might be a long journey to get to that man. But start. Work at it all the time. Make sacrifices. And the other thing is, you've heard the saying, fake it till you make it. If you don't have a destination, how do you know when you've arrived? And how do you know how to get there if you don't know where you're going?
There's people that quit drinking and quit doing drugs and quit losing their temper, but they're normal people that knew they needed to make a change, and they decided they were going to make a change, and then they made it.
You know, they say that the mark of maturity is when you finally realize that no one is coming to the rescue. No one's coming to the rescue. That the difference between the mature person and the immature person is the mature person accepts that they're totally responsible for their own life, that they are where they are and what they are because of themselves. Now, this is a hard thing to accept, but you have decided exactly every single part of your life today. You've decided your income and your home and your health and your weight. You've decided your bank account and your car. You've decided your job and your future. You've decided every single part of it. Why? It's because you're free to choose.
Like, no one can bestow it upon you. No one can just give you a purpose. It is within you, and it is there to be discovered, right? But at the same time, everything that happens to us in our lives, we have to say, okay, how did I contribute to this? How am I responding to this? How can I make this bad situation better? What did I do to make the situation happen?
You are making things happen. You're starting to follow your purpose. On the outside, it looks like this is and so again, I'm saying reinvention. Here we go again. You are now aligning with purpose and intention. You are trusting and changing, and the willingness to change.
Physically strong, mentally resilient, capable, patriotic Americans. That's what I'm trying to do. I just want you to have accountability. I've accounted for all my failures, all my successes, and everything else in between, and I'll show them exactly what happens when you do it wrong.
I'm gonna show everyone that I'm gonna evolve and form into something, an immortal being. I'm gonna be something that is different. I'm gonna be something that is going to shape the universe, that is going to literally show everyone that, hey, like, this kid really went from being a fat, smelly, lazy, pudgy fuck to really becoming someone who's really just on top of the fucking world.
And the idea of just living an okay life just sounds so terrifying to me, that the freedom to fail over and over again is still more fulfilling to me. At least it feels like it's real than walking through kind of on autopilot.
Life is so difficult and challenging that unless you give it everything you have, the chances are very high that it will embitter you, and then you'll be a force for darkness and not good. You know, the fact that life is short and can be brutal can terrify you into hiding and avoiding, but it can also, you can flip that on its head and understand that since you're all in anyways, you might as well take the risks that are adventurous.
You cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. No matter what it is. Many times you say to yourself, I gotta lose weight, I'm too fat. And then you know what? During the day you eat at night, and the next day you get mad at yourself. Well, what do you want? What do you want? You gotta change something. Well, you know, a lot of actors, you know, I don't want to go see that. You know, they feel funny. They don't want to see a director or see people. I go, no, you got to try. You got to get out there. You got to fake it till you make it. Do something. You know, they get embarrassed because they're not working. I said, well, then if you don't want to meet people, you'll always be not working. You got to get out there.
I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently, that it has manifested itself into reality, and that's what I am feeling right now. It's a dream come true.
Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. and you can change it. You can influence it.
I'm not going to take you seriously if you can't fix your own life. People you emulate and so smart, or like these brilliant celebrities, and they go off and commit suicide. Well, you just kind of invalidated your whole way of life. It's like that line in No Country for Old Men where the killer is waiting for the protagonist. And
you have one life, don't settle for mediocrity.
Don't settle for mediocrity. And I think the only, people debate intelligence, for example, right? We talk about IQ tests and all that. But I think the only true test of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.